there's something that barbers shouldn't get good at. Shouldn't get too good at. I know we go about our day. I know we go about our career trying to be the best we could be. We try to be top tier on all levels. We try to attract clientele. We try to be the best at attracting and retaining clientele. We try to be the best at haircuts. We try to be the best at the shop environment. Try to be the best dressed. Hell, some of us trying to make the most money, right? Try to be the best looking barber, whatever that may be, right? That's one thing that barbers shouldn't get too good at. And that is getting too good. Barbers shouldn't get too good with attracting and retaining clientele. You shouldn't get too good at building connections and retaining clientele. Let me say that again. Barbers shouldn't get too good with attracting and retaining clientele. Barbers shouldn't get too good with building connections with clientele, right? Barbers shouldn't get too good at that. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. See, when a barber gets too good at building that connection with clients, you'll start to lack in other areas. So you can get so good at retaining clients, and you can get so good at building that connection with clients to where you'll kind of start slipping on the haircuts. And I'm a prime example of that. It didn't happen to me a numerous amount of times, and then I have to check myself. The clients may not say nothing, but I know it, right? You know when that client walk outside that door and you looking at their head get up out your chair and they walk away, you know that you didn't do your best on that haircut, but you probably was too engulfed in the conversation that y'all was having that probably was valuable. You probably was too into running your goddamn mouth to where you kind of slipped on the haircut. So let me tell you what happened to me one time before, right? I had a client come in, a young fella, been cutting him for years, right? This particular day, man, we got into a deep conversation, right? You know that man-to-man talk, and we're talking about some things that men talk about. You know them conversations, them real valuable man-to-man conversations. We was having one of those, right? And man, we got real deep this particular day, man. We was talking that shit, man. And so finished the haircut, sent him on by his way, right? The next time this person booked, he came and he was a little uneasy. So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He like, hey, man, last time that cut just wasn't a 10 out of 10. And I've been coming to you for a long time, and I know that you do better than that. And you know what? Typically, a non-growth mindset type of barber would say like, oh man, and get all offensive and shit. But me, I said, man, you know what? You sure right. And I respect that. I respect you calling me up to my higher self and my better self by telling me, man, you've been cutting me long. I know you can do better than that. But I knew what it was, and I instantly told him. We was in a deep-ass conversation. We was having a deep-ass talk, running my goddamn mouth, and I slipped on a haircut. And he agreed. He was too deep in the conversation to even check the goddamn haircut, right? But see, that connection we had, those deep conversations, and the type of shop environment I have, people don't too much care about the haircut anymore, right? And sometimes we can build these connections with clients to it's damn near like we hanging out with the homeboys and we hanging out with the fellas, and we forget you're doing a goddamn haircut and it needs to be on point, but they don't give a damn because it's more about the connection y'all have. You ain't really paying attention because you're steady building that connection, and then the haircut ain't a 10, right? Now, granted, the connection that you build means more to a client. That is an elite level to be at, right? And if you at that level, you have achieved something great in this game. However, at times you got to step back and say, okay, the connections that I have with my clients are great. They ain't going nowhere, but I got to keep them haircuts up to par because they starting to slip. Check yourself. I do it all the time, right? Because the type of environment that I created is a very motivating, inspiring, and open environment where people come and they spill their heart out, right? Or they spill their thoughts out, and hey, we be getting to the real conversations in here. We be building real connections up in here, and the haircut be the last thing me or the client worrying about. And you can't let those connections be the only thing that you stand on. Yes, I talk about building the connections with clients often. And yes, I think they're very much more important than the haircut. But remember why these people coming to you. Right? Remember why these people coming to you. Why they came to you in the first place, I'm going to say. Because of that haircut. They made and built a connection with you over time, and a relationship with you over time. And it means more to them now than the haircut do. But remember, they came to you for a haircut, so keep the haircuts on point. We can get too good at building these connections. We can get too good at retaining clients to where we forget to constantly increase our skill as far as haircutting. But I know it's only so good you can get at it. But make sure those cuts stay a 10 out of 10. I know barbers, when that client comes in, that first visit, you give a 10 out of 10. You give your best work. And every haircut after that is trash. I done seen it happen. And I heard about that concept when I first became a barber, and I made sure that that was never me. That's why time and time again, though I have connections with my clients, though I've built a relationship with my clients, though my clients typically don't go anywhere, and my retention rate is extremely high, I still check myself from time to time again and say, hold on, got to keep them haircuts on point. It takes a real barber to check themselves, right? It takes a real barber to check themselves, right? But like I said, don't get too good at building connections and relationships with clients to where you start to slip with your haircuts and with your haircut quality, right? Don't get so good at building connections with clients to where your haircut quality starts to slip. And see, some of y'all barbers don't even know what they feel like because you can't even build, you haven't got to the stage where you know how to build connections and relationships with clients. You still think that it's all about just the haircut. And like I always say, I know barbers who can't cut their way out of goddamn cardboard box. But their clientele, but their client retention is extremely high because they know how to build connections, right? But don't it feel a little bit better and won't your bread be a little bit more secure if you could build those same type of connections and give at least an 8 out of 10 haircut? Wouldn't you just be a little bit more secure in your barber career? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, right? But don't get too good at just attracting and retaining and building relationships with clients to where you forget about why they initially came to you. They came to you for a good haircut. Like I said, you built the connection up over time, but that good haircut is what they came for. I wouldn't say it's the foundation, because I would say the relationship is the foundation, but that haircut is extremely important. Look at it like this. Y'all know I always gotta relate barbering to dating, right? So there could be a chick that's 35, right? She fine, but she's single, been on the market for a long ass time, and you know, probably done fucked up in her past, but she done learned over the years how to be a better woman. She 35 now, half-ass cute, half-ass fine, but she got hella qualities because she's learned over the years. But then here come this fine-ass 25-year-old. Bad, flawless, in her best stages of her life. Ain't worth a goddamn. Which one you gonna go for? See, you gonna go for the one, you gonna go for the 25-year-old, and then find out that she ain't worth shit because you stood on the beauty first. But see, that 35-year-old that learned a lesson over time, because she's not so cute, or she ain't at her best stages, you done missed out on all that value and all of those qualities, right? See, the 25-year-old is your haircuts. That 35-year-old is the relationship you build with your clientele. See? So it's best that you have the 35-year-old. She may not be the best looking one, may not be in her best years, but she has the best qualities. That's the relationship. That's the same as the relationships that you have to build with your clientele. I'd rather you, that's what's best for you. It's best that you have that relationship with your clients over the haircut, right? See, that 25-year-old, she fine as wine on the outside, but she ain't worth a damn. That's how some of y'all barbers give a good ass haircut, but you can't build a goddamn relationship with your clients because you probably ain't worth a damn and they ain't neither. You got to do work on yourself, and you're going to attract people that's the same, right? It's the same way, right? So I'd rather you have the ability to retain and attract clientele. I'd rather you have the ability to build a relationship with clients before you be the best haircutter. But make sure at some point your haircut quality increases, because it's vital. Understand why they are here, right? Understand why they are here, right? So make sure you don't just don't just be good at attracting and retaining clients. Don't get too good at that, because you can get too good at that and then your haircut quality just slip, and you just, you know, you could start to lose clientele like that. I know you think they ain't gonna go nowhere because you think the relationships mean everything, and granted, it can hold them, but you keep fucking up, somebody else gonna be able to do both. Somebody gonna be able to build a relationship and give them a fire haircut. You know what I'm saying? You still in the game. Don't get too comfortable where you think. Don't think you can get too comfortable where you think they ain't going nowhere. Make sure that. Make sure that. So make sure you don't get too good at just attracting and retaining clientele. Real talk.